Dad. What's up? How's it hanging? I hope well, because the weather's been weird here lately. And I hear it's been weird everywhere, so if an apocalypse is upon us, then I guess it is. Anyway, what's up?
Poggies. Another shiny sub button. Thanks for the wonderful streams, your great narrative insight, and most of all your lovely community. Sumai's dab.
Oh, that's really sweet. Thanks for saying that. Thank you guys, Vera, for the 10 months. Did you that 5 + 5 = 10 for 10 months subscribe? That's kind of bloggers. I appreciate it. And thank you for the compliments. Very kind of you. Let me turn that guy down a little bit. It's a little bright. What am I gonna wash it out? Also, hi Kenshin, how are you? Hi Seeker. Hi Mike. These impossible tasks at work. Whoa. So you're having a fun time, Seeker, is what I've gathered. Sorry. The storm the other day. We had a really big storm last night. It was not actually very poggers. The storm ho, Sammy. Would you really? Oh, I'm at 480. Literally last night I was at 450, huh? Guys, I've been subscribed to this game for a while. It still blows my mind. I've been playing this game for like a year and a half now. Well, not quite a year and a half now, but close to it. It's so wild. Time marches on. Yeah, you can keep the heat. Though it is a little chilly here. I wish it'd kind of warm up a bit. 14? Hell yeah, Asmir, that's wonderful. And who got you addicted in the first place? I don't know if it was me or not, actually. Whoa. Well, I mean, if you can't beat him, join him. I'm gonna credit that to several people. I mean, that's fair. That's fair. It's completely fair. I'd be scared if a Final Fantasy protagonist showed up near my house to Asmira. Huh? What? What does that mean? Funny. Lightning got close to Asmira's house. Oh, the FF13 protagonist. I gotcha. I mean, I would like it if Lightning was close to my house and if she wanted to hang out with me even, potentially. Yeah, this is great. You can point at each other and be like, same hair. I think her hair is a bit shorter than mine, but like, yeah, we could. Seems like she'd be fun to chill with. I feel like she's a pretty laid-back person, you know, which is pretty nice, actually. Is that ephemera in the distance? Wait, hold up. Femro spotted. And a little darker, but yeah, that's true. When she's not under the stress of FF13's plot. No, I mean, that's fair. That's fair. We don't want to pour stress lightning. She's like, hey, I have a really funky looking sword. And I'm like, oh, okay. Then we let her in. No, I don't know really anything about Lightning or 13 other than Hallway Simulator bad game. What? That's all I know. Because clearly it's a bad game because people on Twitter said so. And we all know we trust people on Twitter. Hi Bones, how are you? Greetings, human. Greetings, Morton, if that's your real name. It goes well, how are you, Bones? How's it going? I need to actually look at the Cacapot board, too. Was dynamic through most of the game? But FF13 bad hallway simulator. Hallway simulator, bad game, bad game, bad game, bad game, bad game. The glowing pillar. Right. Forgot about that. Pink hair and a gun? I want a gun. And also pink hair. I'm halfway there. How far are you on your side of the abyss? A decent ways. A solid ways. Nothing too crazy. A nice little spot in the void, I'd say. My work sucks, I know. She left me roses by the stairs, so on and so forth. I gotcha, I gotcha. It was a gun blade, but not a gun blade. Ah. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but I gotcha. Sounds like a bloodborne weapon. A little bit, yeah. Her weapon at 14 is a paladin weapon? That's dumb! I think more in the lines of Ruby? Yeah, I guess. Grumble, grumble. I've seen Ruby LS. Ruby's not very good. I don't recommend it. I didn't have that one. Whoops. I know Ruby was one of those things that like had a really cool concept and then they kind of completely whiffed on the concept. You know what I mean? Execution wasn't great. Yeah. It's like it was a cool thing that lasted for a little bit, but then it just kind of floundered. Other non-action scenes were terrible. They certainly weren't very good. Lots of jargon. You have to look up in-game wiki as an acceptable substitute for an interesting hook. Admittedly, I feel like that's half of the Final Fantasy games, but like, I mean, you have a good point though. I don't think you're wrong per se. I think a lot of Final Fantasy games do that. They're employees and not real voice actors as the characters. Right, yeah, no, that's fair. It's fine for comedy series like Red v Blue. And not for an anime. No, I agree. You're not wrong. Also, Rose, thank you so much for the 14 months. Did you know that 7 plus 7 equals 14, which is the number that's involved in this game? That's kind of poggers. Thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate it. Also, hi, Nomad. I can't remember why. Red versus Blue is really, really long. And I admittedly thought it was better when they weren't trying to do, like, a super convoluted plot with it. Though, I'll be honest, like, when they started doing the CGI stuff and had more of a story to go along with it, it was actually pretty good. But I just feel like it was in its best where, like, but, like, I know Red v Blue is kind of different, if that makes sense. I don't know if difference is the right word, but, like, I don't know if it benefited as much from, like, the really complex plot it eventually evolved into. Oh, and they're just staying around in a box canyon with nothing to do. Oh, for sure. Yeah, that was really good, right? What your instance portrait was, Sammy? How could you forget the legendary portrait? I showed you my adventuring plate, answer me. Don't worry, that meme is based off of a real-life situation Eris has been in. JK, that's a silly joke. Also like the shirtless bun boy. Oh, jeez. I mean, I'm sensing this is not a silly joke. Imagine being an empath. Also, not gonna lie, those TikTok jokes about empaths do actually crack me up, though. I love that shit. There we go. Good job, me. Okay, never mind. I'm dead. Also, you probably taught to deal with your emotions. Being an empath might actually be cool. Like not throwing the whole hive mind of them into space. Yeah, that's a good point. Don't throw a hive mind of empaths into space. Bad idea. Nah, the joke is, the joke that Morgan's making is like, there's kind of like a, it's kind of like a TikTok joke, but I'm sure there's like other memes of it too. Where like, people would call themselves empaths and like be really serious and treat it like a superpower. So people would make fun of it because like, it's frankly a little ridiculous. That was a moan. Got him. I don't know if that's in Star Trek a thing. Yeah. Yay, we won! Nice. I did all right. Not to my best. Funny how that works, right? Yeah. My name does not go on the TikToks. Yes, I forgot. You are Giga Boomer. My bad, Nomad. I forgot you only drink a mixture of tapioca pudding and prune juice every morning. And that you watch black and white television because you think that's the pinnacle of entertainment. I apologize, my bad. What's a TikTok? Can you eat it? No, it's a bug. Interesting moment whenever she gets hit. Who is it? Excuse me, it's apple juice. Whatever you say, Grandpa, let's get you to bed. Let's tuck you in. Gotta get you extra blankets, cause the wind goes right through ya. FF13, oh. Still never played it. Never fucked around with it. I will one day. FF13 is on my list. My list of the FF games I want to get through next are 8, 13, 12, and 6, respectively. I want to play 13, partially to prove that it's a good game, actually, for realsies. And, I want to play 8, because partially to prove it's a good game for actually realsies. I want to play 6 because apparently that's the best one, and 12 because that's also apparently the best one. And something tells me I might end up really liking 13 and 8, and then maybe hating 6 and, like, 12 for some reason. And we're gonna go based off of the FF games I've played in the past, right? Well, I guess 7's an exception to that, admittedly. Oh, they have a row too, nice. Or you're gonna hate 6 because it's ATB? Yup, oh, I know. I fucking despise ATB. 13 is actually one of my faves. See, Morton, don't spoil anything, but like, that's one of the reasons I want to play it, is because anytime I talk about 13, I have a lot of people say, oh, I really like 13, it's really fun. But anytime you hear 13 talked about online, people are like, Hallway Simulator, worst game ever, women! And it's like, oh my god. You know, like, what, like one of those, like, people act like it's the worst thing to ever crawl out of the gutter. Femoro's on my booty. Got her though. Don't underestimate me, baby. Wait, did I not get that? That's, wild, actually, but okay. Ah, damn it, I got seduced again. The Ephemeral knows there can only be one Q highlighter theme. Legit though. Drill goes through barriers, bitch. I hate it when I get seduced, especially in real life. Why would you hate being seduced in real life? That sounds fucking badass. Sounds like a good time. Don't threaten me with a good time, baby. Killed you through your barrier. That must suck to be you. Get fucked? Hold on, I'm gonna get seduced again. No, 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 no! Ooh. Let's go, baby. Ow, oh, why do you have an AoE stun? I'll never get that. Why did they give warriors an AoE stun? That makes no goddamn sense. Haha, still got you. Yeah, get him! Good job, Reaper. Nice. Oh, of course you used a barrier. There we go. Dude, drill is great. Love how it goes through barriers. Very, very sexy. Bizunga Bunga must ask all the questions. See, that's dumb though. Also 6 kills, didn't die. I'm good at this, just saying. Look at my damage numbers, baby. Only needed one warm-up game. Sammy Zung, she doesn't know about classic rock. Okay, what if I told you though? Legitimately, I don't listen to any classic rock. Not a single bit. Any rock I listen to at latest is 2000s. Absolute 70 beans produced is pretty inconvenient, Lamau. I mean, I'm bisexual, so I have a penalty to I have disadvantage on charm effects. Define classic rock, like any of the classic rock that people always thump about, right? So like anything from the 80s. Anything from the 90s, anything from the 70s, anything from the 60s, like anything. 60s to 80s, yeah, I don't listen to any of that. I don't know much about any of that either. Like, and I can't really even name any bands, right? I mean, Queen is a band, right? Yeah, no, Queen. I guess I know about Queen. Same little the bi struggle. It's true though. If you're bisexual, you have disadvantage on all charm effects. But you have advantage on resisting fear effects, right? Makes sense. But yeah, like, I know about Queen, I guess. Right? Don't listen to any of their music, really, though. When you go to Hard Rock Cafe, that's what you know when the music's playing. The what cafe? I'm sorry, what? Why do they have rocks in a cafe? Besides, radio these days is mostly like, we only play the hardest rock. Rock hard rock, like penis hard. Plays Radioactive by Imagine Dragons. We only play the most intense rock possible. Only the golden era of rock and roll, baby. Truck sound horn. Plays Radioactive by Imagine Dragons. I'm not familiar with that genre. Well, you're about to be, unless you don't want to be, of course. Well, that was a hell of a time to walk in. Hi, Echo, how are you? Plays Radioactive by Imagine Dragons. Imagine Dragons is rock? Yes. Like it's on every rock station. They're on every rock station, and I suppose you could consider Imagine Dragons to be modern rock. I don't think that's actually unfair. Well, you describe radio so well, I hate it. It's true. They're like, this ain't your granny station. We only play the hardest man rock barbecue build deck. Plays Radioactive by Imagine Dragons. Just saying. Thinking these nuts. You got me. Yes, hi Echo. And hi Diz. I mean, music tastes are better based on what you're exposed to, so I'm not surprised. Yeah. Yeah. I have a walking bruise from last night. Oh, what happened? Did you get in a fist fight? Ba 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 ba. Mainstream music is so bad today. Radio stations play the same 20 songs over and over. Now, what if I told you, Bones? It's always been like that. Fun Sammy fact, I worked in radio for a while, actually. I worked in radio for a while, and that's something that that's something that you learn about when you're in radio, is like, that's how it always has worked. Is when you're a radio station, you play the most popular music, and you always do, unless people request something. If people request a different song, then you do that. Or if you have like a special music hour where you're like demonstrating new songs or particular genre, yada yada yada. That's different. Like legit. But you always play like the top 40 because that's what makes you the most money. Because, yeah. People will whine and moan about it, that it's the same music, but it's still in the top 40. So if you don't want the radio to be playing the same songs, listen to different ones. If that makes sense. Not that I'm necessarily blaming like the consumer, so to speak. This is not necessarily their fault, but like if songs get swapped out of the top 40, then radios will play different songs. It's like the point, you know? They only have so much airtime, so they have to appeal to as many people as possible. You know? Placebo and MCR put on a hell of a show together. Right, yeah, that's right, you were going to MCR. Fuck me, god damn it. Echo, I'm so fucking mad, by the way. I mean, I'm happy for you. I'm very happy for you. I want to see MCR so fucking bad. Modern rock stations are still playing Nirvana? Yes, because Nirvana's still popular. That note of jealousy I hear? I am green with envy, yes! 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 It is jealousy! I've been in a bad place for 30 years. I disagree. Define bad place. And if you mean rock as a whole genre, that's a pretty damn wide net. From stage dead center. Hey, Echo, what do I have to do? What do I have to do to be there? I'll buy you a quiche. A green goblin? That's what they call me, baby. Going for the throat, Echo. Well, you know, they do call me the throat goat. Don't know what that means, though. Who's to say? Pretty sure it means because I strike people in their most vulnerable place, you know? Their throat. Hi, Sage, what's up? I'm doing good, how are you? I'm Poggers, how are you? Although your rock genre has been splintered and spilled into many other genres. That's why it's hard to identify bands like Imagine Dragons as rock. I mean, I see what your point is. I see what you mean by like, it's splintered so much it's hard to identify what it is anymore. But is that a bad thing that we have more diverse music? Is it such a bad thing that we're living in like one of the greatest times in terms of music diversity and sound diversity? Is that a bad thing? Yes, it may be harder to categorize certain things, but does that really matter? The crowd over there is just cheering that dance that there's, or if there's a streamer doing a performance somewhere. I believe it's a streamer, yeah. Also, Goblin D's. Nice, good job, Maureen. Good job. Very good. They're taking a tour to the US at some point sooner, so you'll get the chance. Yeah, but I don't have a lot of money. And it's probably gonna be like $300. Maybe not that expensive. Depends on like, if they come to my city. Which they might. Like, I live in a pretty big city, all things considered. So I'm gonna go to MCR, let's go. Nice. I'm a really good masochist. Learning more about you every day, Morton. Oh, God, that white mage, that was sexy. Ah, fuck, yeah, I messed up. It's fine. It's okay, kill them anyways. My favorite music genre is Morbius. Wow, you like Morb Mosh too? Good music, not gonna lie. God, that was fucking fast victory, holy shit. Never died either. Also did the most damage again. I'm pretty fucking good at Mechanist. Shockingly affordable, actually. Only 75 E for a 6-hour show. Really? Oh, that's like really good, actually. You know, I do recall when MCR was touring, you know, like 20 years ago. Which is an insane thing to think. When I was like a baby. When I was not able to listen to MCR. I remember them like making their tickets pretty damn affordable on purpose, or that being talked about at least is when they toured. Because remember, kiddos, I wasn't into MCR until Danger Days, actually. Well, I mean, Handwave. When Black Parade came out, I was like 8 or something. Barely even knew what music was. Oh no, not more Morbius, yes. Oh, they were popular when I was in high school, yep. They try to keep it cheap as possible so more fans can afford it because they are good boys. They are good boys. I love them. They are like actually pretty nice people. Making me feel old as fuck. I was like a 10-minute battle. Fuck yeah, Shay. Happy for you. If you were a Rift Mage though, I bet you would have killed them faster. Joke. Cool, edgy kid, listen to Linkin Park. Okay, you can't be edgy and not listen to My Chemical Romance. Just saying. The Linkin Park, yeah, Linkin Park's solid. I always enjoyed me a little bit of Linkin Park. I'm a necromancer and I regret it. Oh no. I'm sorry, hun. I mean, a necromancer seems good against like groups of people, you know? But man, nothing feels better than sending a fucking fist of earth at somebody and watching them fly off the railing. Popular with girls only, I remember? Really? Necro has some good passives. That's true. Yeah. It definitely does. And it can keep you alive. It can make you like deceptively tanky too. Also, imagine thinking My Chemical Romance was only popular with girls, but like, it kind of makes sense actually. Most of My Chemical Romance fans I know are women. But still. So the whole emo trend was at its height. True, 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 true. When people would put on their raccoon eyeliner and shit. It's great that they're making music again, though. That's really neat. I'll actually be able to, like, be around for it this time. The bangs, the bangs. This is the emo scene, and I am a boy. No, that's fair. Black Mage, Reaper, and Dark Knight. Am I edgy enough? You should get some mains that aren't mine. Excuse you? I am the best Black Mage on, Crystal, just saying. Really seem edgy enough. Adorable. Oh, we have Black Mage on our team, too. Nice. They could cast magic. Oh no, that Lalafella's painted nails. Yes, half of them have transitioned since, but, Gunbreaker's the best tank, don't at me. Yo, okay, I love Gunbreaker. Gunbreaker is one of my favorite classes, but I'm sorry. Dark Knight's just Dark Knight's just my pick. If I have to tank, I'm gonna tank on Dark Knight. But, Gunbreaker's my second favorite. Emo before emo was a thing? Was it Dark? Yeah, Echo, I saw a joke on Twitter that I didn't understand at first, but they were talking about MCR, and they're like, imagine going to a concert and getting a HRT contact high. I was like, oh, that makes a lot more sense. Stream loads and there's an evil Lala on screen. I know, I'm telling you, Kakatar. Better watch out. What am I spelling? Paladin. Yo, get your Paladin bullshit out of here. Oh god, yep, there's the warrior. To leave our backline alone there, friend. There we go, got him. Went in too deep. Oh, this is gonna be good. Yep, there we go. Oh, good lord. There we go, got him. Oh, no. Damn it. Fucking dancer. There we go, drilled. hey, look, the dancer's here. Goodbye, White Mage. Oh, good lord. There, got her. Holy shit, I hate White Mages. Let that be a known fact of the world. Doing my level 50 White Mage quest. Rough. Sounds kind of like a personal problem, though. Oh, damn. Oh, are you kidding me? God damn it, I fucking hate White Mages. I have not tried Monk. No. I haven't played it since 1.0. Mechanist in PvP is my jam. I'm really good at Mechanist in PvP. It is something I excel at. Wanna get the White Mage? Yes! Oh, fuck yeah. Come on, guys. Ah, we're gonna lose. Son of a fucking bitch. God damn. We were so fucking close. Ah, fuck me. I'm mad. Dumb. I did the most damage in the game, too. Holy shit. Well. Eye twitch. Look at that. Like, I did almost 1 million damage. A bard, though. Big task. Boo. Anyway. Restores a massive portion of the damage you take while it's active. You're gonna do an AoE that deals all the stored damage back to them while healing you. That's awesome. Nice. 1 dead or 2 broke. Oh, side punchy bag. What's up? I'm gonna pretend that I'm not actually healing me, which, to be fair, probably the edgiest thing I can do. Also, White Mage is your main healer. You know, Morton, I used to respect you. But damn, I can't believe it. Fucking disgraceful. I'm kidding, that's a joke. You're lovely. Team could break the 50-50 split. No, that's fair. I apologize for my sins, you better. Damn. Imagine. Now you're gonna have to go to confession for your sins. Thankfully, I am a priestess. Imagine dragons? Oh, also, Morton, I didn't see that you followed. Why didn't that pop up? Well, thank you for the follow. I super duper appreciate it. I hope you're having a good white mageless day. Because I want my day to be like that, so yours better be too. I'm kidding. Zero brain cell healer, make brain go burr. That's the best you can do. I know, I fucking hate healing with a fiery passion. White mage chief among them. Which, really, when you think about it, like, think about all the classes I like. Almost all of them are, like, really mechanically intensive classes. The exception of maybe Dark Knight, but, like, I'd argue you have to, like, be pretty on the ball with Dark Knight to avoid dying. Like, literally, all my classes, you have to be, like, they're very mechanically intensive. I love doing shit. I can't stand not doing shit, which is why I hate healing so much. And especially White Mage. It's because it's nothing. You do nothing the whole time. Aside from occasionally casting Holy or something like that. More aggressive than other healers. I really should try Sage, because I feel like Sage will become my favorite healer. Like, I'm dead serious. I think it's just gonna be my favorite healer as soon as I try it. But, like, yeah, I mean, even Astrologian, and Astrologian's, like, the busiest of the healers, or at least it was. And that's why Astrologian was my AD healer. I just cannot stand healing. PlayStation PvP. It's so fun. Nice. Also, hi Dragoon. How are you? Is the only healer I have leveled? I mean, that's fair. And to be fair, Morton, play whatever the fuck you want. You don't have to justify anything to me. It's really mostly like a it's really just like an in-joke that I hate white mages because I'm a black mage, and also one of my good friends who plays this game is a white mage main, right? The not in-joke part is that I personally hate healing. I do legitimately not like it at all. And part of that's because early in my FF14 career, I had a lot of people being completely incapable of accepting that fact, that I just didn't like healing. So I got harassed about it, which is such a weird and bizarre thing, but I'm sure some of you were around for that, right? I'm sure like Sage and Kakatar probably were. Like people were really fucking weird about that. line knockback? Well, Kakatar, you are tempting me every day to play more Monk. You are tempting me. You can knock back into your limit break and does double damage? Holy shit, that's awesome. Oh, that's cool. They're back. I'm sorry you're harassed for that. Yeah, me too. Absolutely have no comfortability for healing. Yep, no, I want to do the role quest and that's it. Also, hi Fix, how are you? Playable that? Do like 19k damage? Nice. Oh, we have a sage on our team. Why does that paladin look like the most default paladin ever? Why is he after imaging around the battlefield? Or maybe not a battlefield, but arena, whatever. He's literally wearing leveling gear. He is a skittish fellow. Oh, I got healed. I actually got healed. Holy shit. How does the white mage already have limit break? What the fuck? You make no goddamn sense, white mage. I went in really deep too. Oh, good lord. Oh, that's a dragoon! Haha, you missed. Please, please get on the point, guys. I am alive! I'm alive somehow! Wow, you guys really wanted to kill me, huh? Fuck you, got you. Dude, I swear 2 healers is insane on some teams. Got you. Hi, Max. Guys, please just focus the same target. Please just focus her. Thank God. Also, Max, thank you so much for the 9 months. That's a whole sub, baby. What's our child's name? I'll super duper appreciate it. Hope you're having a lovely time. And you're dead. Good lord. Yeah, we're just gonna lose at this rate. We just cannot kill targets. That is depressing. There we go, that's one. God damn it. Okay, I killed him though. Okay, that's both their healers dead, guys. Come on. You can do it. I believe. I believe in you. I believe in this. Come on! That's a good sound. How about Sola? Ooh, I like that. That's good. Let's do that. Sola's good. I do like the Quinari. God fucking damn it. Yep, I know. Yep. Take the star away. I'm outperforming, yeah, I'm outperforming just about everyone in the game again, but it's fine. Except for that summoner. Man, good summoner. You guys are gonna see me get toxic again. I do that with PvP games a lot. It's fine, it's fine. A bunch. I hope they had something for the Shadowbringers tribes one of these days. Yeah, that'll be fun. They should. Okay, one more try. Also, but yeah, thanks for the 9 months too. I appreciate it. You do that 3 + 3 + 3 + 3 is 9, which I have a bunch of YouTube subscribe for it. By it. That's kind of poggers. Hey, Loop, what's up? Try to bring in tribe quests. Got a toxic streamer reporter, please do. You guys should have seen me when I played like Overwatch or like League of Legends more seriously. Yeah. That's okay. But, you know, just saying I am outperforming literally everyone in every game I play, but I'm still losing, so like that kind of sucks. That's Frontline in a nutshell. Nice. Normally virtually zen, peaceful, fun, and lovely. Ooh, okay. The nice possible way, Max. I'd prefer you not make that type of joke. Specifically the first part of that PvP joke, the whole re thing. Not good. The rest of it was great though. Oh hey! Wait, hey, I know you two! I know you two! That's one of the black mages I played with, and that's one of the white mages I played against, I'm pretty sure. That was on my paladin from the last game. Okay, I will have my revenge. That was the paladin that was on my team. Can't wait to kill him. Yeah, no worries, Max, love ya. But it is bad. It is not good. That might be the summoner from last game too. If it is, then I think we win. I know, we'll have to see. They do have 2 tanks, which will be annoying, but they don't have 2 healers, thank God. And our paladin last game wasn't that good. Try to do it. Oh, nice. Hell yeah. And play white mage without the W, because yeah, it'd just be height mage. Be a tall mage. I have an acquaintance who literally had to stop playing Link because his blood pressure would get too high. Oh yeah, no, that's fair. It can hurt you. We already lost our white mage. Never mind. That is not a good start. Okay, well, that's one of them. Fighting warriors is literally just get stunned to Palooza. I swear. Oh, he blocked it. I'm mad. The Black Mage had the right idea. Oh, Black Mage, go. I'm in the thing. There we go. Come on. I can only do so much. Holy shit. Can't relate, sorry. Spaceships are good. I'll say, hey Raven, what's up? Gonna hurt my soul? Oh, I mean, to be fair, play a game enough, you're just gonna spend a lot of time on it. Like Final Fantasy. Guys, can we please play the game? Holy shit. That'd be awesome. You know, I went in with like a little bit of confidence. That was my downfall. Never be confident. Have no confidence in yourself. Short King. Only got one. Good lord. Are you a man or a trans person? I don't know, man. I got boobs last time I checked. Well, now. Doing pretty alright. Was celebrating my sibling's birthday earlier. Nice. Look at you go. also a woman. I mean, last time I checked, yeah. I don't know, unless something changed on me, you know? Stop, warrior! God, I hate these dudes. No idea why. Oh God, I'm sorry. That does suck, Araka. When was the last time you checked? Damn, I haven't checked my state mandated gender card in a while. Yeah, we lost. That was not a good match. That was fucking terrible, actually. No, that is the summoner from last time. No, she did pretty good. It's nutty. Gotcha. Are you sure it hasn't been revoked till now? I don't know, man. Politics, am I right? There's supposed to be an issued gender card. Yeah, there's a big old gender card that you get, and it's like gender, and that's what it says, you know? And then you're like gender, and you're like, ah, the gender card, you know? But yeah, I mean, like, look, I get it. I get it. I'm kind of flat-chested, but I mean, come on. That's not my fault. That's literally genetics. And I do have bigger boobs than my sister does. Haha. That's not saying much, to be honest. But still. I'm just unlucky, alright? And besides, apparently guys are into flat-chested girls. I don't believe that, but apparently they are. Booba, respectively. Mm-hmm. I just don't have a big chest, sorry. Hi, Ariel. How are you? Gender servant politics, exactly. Some are. Have you found any? That'd be great to know about, actually. Or women. Any women that are into small chests. Like, hey, hit me up, baby. Flat as a board, baby. I mean, I guess that's not true. It could be worse. I do know people with smaller chests. Like, you know, I don't know. And to be fair, the shirt doesn't do me a lot of favors too. It's like a very it's like a really loose one. Like, kind of deal. Ooh, a manga that I love that's a feel-good series about food updated. Yay! Which one? Waiting at the last 30 minutes of work. If I could donate, I'd share. Well, God, I wish. Yeah, I wish. Oh, I started a new manga recently too. Do you guys want to see it? I bought some. That's the thing when jamming in with VTubers that can touch your elbows together. I'm not stupid. It isn't the size of the booba, but the size of the heart underneath Gandhi or somebody. I don't know. Was it Nobu? Okay, I don't know that one. Yeah, I do have a new manga. It's sitting above my bed right now. Because I read it whilst preparing for slumber. Has the end walked yet? Nah, I haven't done it yet. I will in a little bit, but I'm playing a bit of PvP because I want to. Oh, that's great. That's awesome. What is it? I will show. Oh no. Lala fell in the void. Here, I'll grab it. Don't look at my butt. If you do, I'll cry. I'm also wearing pink shorts, by the way, because I've got a yellow shirt. And it matches my eyes. Yeah, anyway. It's called Our Wonderful Days. And if you look at this cover, and you're like, Sammy, is this fruity? I don't know, is it? I got the first 2 volumes. Halala Pillow Void Scent. They're roommates. No, they're childhood best friends, actually. Even better, baby. Nice. Yeah, it's the story is 2 girls who grew up next door to each other. One of them moved away, but then they reunite in high school when the one girl moves back. And then, since they move back, they start catching up, and they're like, oh, we were so good friends, blah, blah, blah. And then the one girl is like, huh, wow, she's really pretty, huh? Which is super cute, because it's literally like a coming of age and like coming of like, Did I get it? I didn't get it? What the fuck? How was I supposed to get it then? Hate it. But yeah, it's like a coming of age and coming of queer, like story about like this like girl kind of discovering a bit more about herself. And like the love that she had, like, and this childhood best friend whom she maybe is feeling less I mean, I shouldn't say less friendly, but like, you know, different emotions towards it. That's weird. Looks like you got it. Yeah, I don't know what else I was supposed to fucking do there, but whatever. I don't know if I described it as Team Fortressy, but it's pretty good. More Overwatchy. So they start high school together, and the whole time this girl, like, you know, the one girl's like, why do I start to sweat every time she gets near me? And they already held hands in the first damn chapter, which is really damn cute. Because the one girl, like, grabbed her hand and was like, oh, what was it? Sorry, my brain is focused on death right now. Not sweet girls doing sweet things. Ha. I missed the title though. Give me a second. It was Our Wonderful Days, yes. That's exactly what it was. Our Wonderful Days. Got it. I did okay. Yep. First volume looks like this. Our Wonderful Days. Right. And yeah, what was the first thing? Because they went to go see, like, the cherry blossoms together. Which, I mean, very queer. Also, the one girl's just adorable. She's so cute. And she's so small. Yeah, literally, like, look at this absolutely fruity behavior. Like, that means we'll be together forever, all the time. And it's a little hard to see, but yeah, then they hold hands. Like, look at that, baby. And the one girl keeps being like, oh man, I used to be taller than you, because the other girl's really tall now. And she's like, I'll get taller than you. And like keeps talking about that. Oh man, it's so great. And he's like, well, I can't wait to see that. Me too. And then they like leave. They get called away to leave. And then she starts holding her hand and like pulling her away. Like, isn't that cute? They're only holding hands and it's just the first chapter. The blonde girl's certified cute. Yes, she's adorable. She's the main character too. And the tall girl is her like bestie that moved away. You're like, look at that. And she's just this tiny, spunky little girl who's like a little dumb. What is the series? Our Wonderful Days. I said it. Our Wonderful Days. Boop, 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 boop. And then they also have friends too, which like one of them is a Genki girl, and the other one's like this like shy, like this, or maybe not shy, but like smart girl, and they have vaguely fruity energy too, which is pretty good. There's some good manga panels in here too. Like, it's good stuff, honestly. And show hand holding us against TOS. And like there's like some bits where she gets drawn like small. Like she gets got like pushed out by a crowd and she's tiny. Love that shit. And then yeah, I got the second volume of it too, which is the other two girls on it, which again, I'm getting kind of some fruity energy from them. They've got like tomboy and like femme girl. They got like tomboy and like femme energy, you know? Because like the redhead is the Genki girl. And then you also have like the backs. The backs are pretty cute too. We got like the four girls, like all like tackling each other. And the back of this one is them under the umbrella together. That's what I mean though. The one girl's tall, baby. She's so tall. It's great. I don't know. It's cute. I really like it. I've been reading through it, and I would recommend it. I haven't finished it though. But if you need manga recommendations, I got you. Specifically if you want GL manga recommendations, I really got you. I have another GL manga I need to get into too. But I haven't read it yet. Sometimes you just need some good wholesome stuff though, right? So yeah, would recommend. But with that, I think it might be time for us to go dill around in the MSQ. In the Discord? My Discord or a different Discord? Different one? Damn, I wish it was mine. Really wish it was mine. Disappointing. Alrighty. I still only just finished Heaven's Word. Oh, nice. I said I don't need to go to the cinemas. Now you gotta, though. Really, the best part in the MSQ, the best part in the Morbius movie is where Morbius goes, "It's Morbin time," and then he Fortnite default dances, and it kills like 5 men. It's great. That's a real thing he does. It is certainly a movie. It's only the greatest movie ever made. You mean the movie ever made? It is the movie ever made? Excuse me, what? Yeah, he does that. He goes, "It's Morbin time." And then he uses like his psychic powers to like blow up a bunch of guys. That's what that's what morbing it means. So when he morbs somebody, that's what happens, right? I love it when he morbed all those guys too. It's very fun. Well, I will admit, the 40-minute sex scene between him and Matt Smith in there, a little strange. Don't know why they included that, but they sure did. Felt a bit gratuitous. I was missing this looping music. Oh, I wasn't. I wasn't at all. I kind of hate it, not gonna lie. Welcoming people be a part of their lives, and we made a difference is so much more than I ever dreamed of. All parts are equally excited to have this opportunity. We were humming the whole way here. There's too little time before. There are so many people to talk to, so many things to learn. Rated M for morbid. There's I'm going to ask more about Ryanje. I'd like to, but where would I begin? Thank you. I'm wearing pink shorts and a yellow shirt, so got it right. But thank you, Nex. I appreciate it. I'm to invite Ryanje for a drink when the moment to prove that we're long overdue for one. Yes. I mean drinking each other's alcohol. There's a glass of someone, Brita. Everybody, where's when the science, correct? Yo, what's up? Those comrades? I will harass him into coming home. You know that self-same light? It was kind of good. And if you guys need a little bit of a recap for where last we left off, my brain was scrambled eggs the entire time. We struggled a little bit to get through some shit, just because of how kind of bad the quests were in this particular section. Looping music sucked. The looping music sucked. The quests sucked. It was very like weirdly scavenger hunty with like a lot of decoy things, and that took a while to do. Plus, we're listening to the same music and blah 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 blah. Like it really dragged here. It was kind of like the trolley bringers of the MSQ. Is kind of what it feels like a bit. But eventually, we got here where Urianger was sort of approached by Moonbreeda's parents. They hugged him. A lot of tears were shed. It was beautiful. And Urianger has very lovely parents, very lovely row parents. It was very cute. It's way too early. Oh my god, it's so damn early. Like, what's intense about running around trying to find scientists to, like, reassure? I don't get it. It's really, like, it really, like, messed me up. It made me not want to play the game. Gratitude has been lending the courage for the Loperids. Disposed to the rest on the laurels, except for our guests have elected to accompany the countrymen to their stations. Some few may come hither seeking counsel, so I shall remain to aid them as need be. Thou targeting elsewhere, do not leave them to take. Matter of fact, I was hoping you might check on Alize. Last I saw, she was struggling to carry Normal's pile of boxes out on the western gate. You and myself, but we both know whose help she's more likely to, less like to scorn. A dimension, much of my misfortune. I can think of several other things I ought to be doing. Until later. Thancred, we get it, you're gay. Love you. Thancred's solo duty, it didn't outstay its welcome so much. Agreed. Alize should take on a great burden, like us not. Lady Wayne and I shall attend to matters here. They have the same dialogue. This music's supposed to mean things are supposed to happen very soon. Yeah, like the next quest. I know. They did this with Shadowbringers too, and that sucked as well. Though I don't recall it being nearly as tedious. Like, the quests here are just way more tedious. Feels like they padded out a little bit for time. Came out of left field with that gut punch. Oh, they sure did, but I loved it. I love that Moonbreeda finally got acknowledged in a very emotional and resplendent note in the MSQ there after her death. It'd be very cool if any other women in this game could also get that treatment, but, you know, I'll take it from Moonbreeda at least. Was the X-Arc to break it up? Yeah, that's true. And I'm pretty sure it was shorter. But, yeah. They really need to shorten the amount of time using for the distance. You have feeling the intense music while doing normal stuff is just blah. Agreed. Agreed. Yep. Down here for hours. The only one. Really is the only thing. Not gonna lie. Why are the boxes squealing? Nurse, what are you doing out here? Why are they squealing? I don't mind if you help with the box. It was far from the most exciting of tasks, are you sure? Well, I appreciate the assistance. Before, the time is short, of course, but they're full of organic specimens and samples, so try not to be too rough with them. When we arrive, I'll see you there. Oh no! Oh no! Not a crate of samples! This is not the best music to play while I'm running a box, but alright. There's an ether current. No. No. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Box time. The most intense box running ever. Yeah. Some serious action. Oh, and there's a fate in front of me. Are you kidding me? This is what hell looks like.
Himlo Sami.
Viv, thank you so much for the 14 months. Did you know that 7 plus 7 equals 14 or 7 minutes to subscribe for? That's been good. Buggers. I appreciate it. How are you, buddy? That there with the others. Finally, different music. Say hello to your father. From me. Somebody he definitely doesn't know. How did you come to be involved in this? Well, you know, I suppose I've Thancred to thank as well. Rodwin and I were being tasked with bringing these boxes to a port to begin with, so was I. Turns out the base of operations of sorts. Those with the final say as to what is included in the ship's manifest can be found here. Father included, I suspect. That should be everything. Heard it all at once? Are you trying to injure yourself? Oh, hush. They're lighter than they look. Not everyone has your delicate arms. Ah! Suppose we should let someone know that we finished. That's such a sister, like brother-sister line to each other. Sibling line. Not everyone has your delicate arms. Neapolitan is in the courtyard. We can report to him. Why don't you come along? You should get credit for your assistance at least. Considering where we are, we might even learn something interesting. I think that she runs ahead and Alphino just walks. Hello, Chocoboki. Also, good luck with your having to human, Viv. I hope that is fruitful for you. Maybe the whole round there. Oh, I should go back and grab that Aether bit. Bouncy, bouncy, bounce. You know what I think we need? I feel like we need more sibling characters. I love Alphino and Alize. They're great, and their dynamics perfect. I think we should have more sibling characters. That's a fun little dynamic that I don't think it's dived into a whole lot. Or I should say, maybe doesn't get dived into well a whole lot. Not saying maybe it has to be an FF14, but like, in general. It's fun to have two people be very snarky to each other. But also still love each other very much. And also know a lot about each other, but have no like romantic or even like platonic, like romantic or like friend-leaning, like conditional relationships, if that makes sense. Bun boy siblings now? That'd be great. Or sibling dynamics would be fun to see. That sounds like too much work. What, making like familial relationships? a Cyan B team. Oh, that's cute. Supposed to be Theopaldon. Yeah, I think that's what, because it's over his head. Hi, Wild. I know agrees with you, Zumi. Oh no, not like that. See him elsewhere. I can't for the life of me remember when. Sup, dude? Does it ever end? Sigh, what can I do for you? Billionaire Hamlet, Series 110? It's by the entrance. I'd expect one of my colleagues to be dreadfully short-handed. But you're Fortuno's children, are you not? Alphino Alizé at your service. If you're well acquainted with father, I take it. What, I've been friends with your parents since our days at the studium. Remember when you were yee-high, waddling hither and thither? It's been quite some time since we've met. It's good to see you both. Will and your father's, Nulthus, no less. Knew our parents when they were young. What were they like? Pray, spare no detail. Alizé's like, tell us? This is great. Oh yeah, the Boulder siblings are great. I love them. They had nothing more to regale you, alas, I'm not meant to be in charge here. And reams of paperwork want for submission. We can help with that, in exchange for the sorts of stories our parents would never willingly divulge, of course. That's great. Yeah, very well. Happens to be 3 sets of documents in need of delivery, so why don't each of you take one?
It's like all my 9 days have come at once.
Surmise dab.
Wait right here. Thank you, Thea. I'm representing waiting to collect these in the settlement structure. Keep her waiting for too long. When Alphino and Alizé, I'm certain he'll be back soon enough. It's actually made of 2 pairs of siblings. That's true. Point being, I still want to see more of it, is what I'm getting at. And weird, thank you so much for the 10 months. You're doing that 5 + 5 = 10. We're just 10 months you've been subscribed for. That's kind of poggers. Welcome. Yeah, Dradis, Aenor's great. She's wild. The 7th ton, I thought you were meant to be working with the Aether Burner. Yo, what's up? Have a piece of paper. Warhead misplaced his quill. You should your help seeking these documents at my hands at last. As for your other tasks, I keep this between us, but I sincerely hope your science succeed. Exodius is without a doubt the most monumental undertaking in the history of the Forum. To be circumspect in all respects. Risk is a privilege we cannot afford ourselves. That's hard, however, though Charlene has ever been a nation of curious. It would be tragic indeed if we were the ones to stymie your pursuit of the truth. Aww. That's cute, though. She's like, yeah, I hope you succeed. I was like, you should. Aw. Good and efficient. I dare say you have a talent for this work. The twins' papers will need to be delivered elsewhere in the facility, so they should be returning any moment. Yay, the music cut out. Yay. Urbana's theme bug noises. Return without a scrap of paperwork remaining to on our purses, you will note. You both have my thanks and my apologies for sending you an errand far below your ambitions. Even as a babe, you struggled out of your swaddling clothes, and that's quite enough of that, thank you. It was the compromising stories of our parents that we asked to hear and to reiterate. Chuckle. Oh, of course, of course. Known your father for so long. I must have something. Well, as you know, part of why I love your name garners such respect in Charlene is your family's storied history. You can trace your ancestry directly to those who came aboard Nurin Kep's Hope, a lineage few can claim. I never thought as much of it myself. It's not as though our forebears founded our nation, simply there when it happened. Nevertheless, it's a tradition of being a point of pride. Pride, woo! Is why Noyenkep's pronouncement, renounce the ways of war and pursue the enlightenment through knowledge and reason, has ever been our family's creed. Until your grandfather's time, aye. Archon Louis Sois looked at Noyenkep's words, but his deeds... He asserted in defiance of his peers, and choosing to save the great and the small from the rising tides was the true mark of our founder's virtue. Perhaps it was his expertise, his knowledge of the ancient prophecy and the fall of civilizations that led him to conclude that to eschew conflict at every turn was to consign mankind to doom. Yeah, good shit. There'll ever be a conflict and calamity will follow, thus. To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is wisdom. That is not wisdom, it is indolence. I like how Louis Sois is one of the most important NPCs in this entire game, and you never meet him. You never meet him. Not even once. Well, I mean, I guess Binding Coils, maybe. But he's like one of the most important NPCs of this whole shebang. And he's a dead guy that you never meet. But you see his impact throughout the entire game over and over and over. And in a way, you kind of aspire to live a little bit like him, too. Even if you're not directly doing that. Well, if you're a legacy player. Okay, technically. But to be fair, as the game currently stands, you don't. There's no possible way for me to meet him right now. Or at any point in the plane of this game whatsoever. Conceivably, it doesn't matter, is my point. It is, I'm sure, great for legacy players, but like, that's what I mean. Whole code has been used directly and with minor changes throughout the game. All of 1.0 is viewed as legend anyway, pretty much. I wish we could dig more into his background with the current story. It would be nice, but like, alas, right? Remembered his words well, indeed. Archon Louis Sois lived by the personal creed, and used every means at his disposal to bring succor to those in need, Charlene or no. No one loved or admired your grandfather more so than his son. Aw. I agree with you, Nova, except I don't agree that we're living in his shadow. Warrior of Light casts a pretty damn big shadow themselves. But it is cool that, like, I think it's cool that we pick up his legacy a little bit, right? If anything, we've surpassed him. We have surpassed him. No matter how cool Louis Sois was, he didn't save the first from a light obliteration, or stop several wars, or fight an elf pope, or fight multiple primals all at once. I mean, he fought one primal. That was cool. More living with his legacy than his shadow. Yeah. No, I gotcha. His pupils, to a degree, have surpassed him, too. A little bit, yeah. Very similar. But it does work pretty well, because, like, yeah, 1.0 players feel like he's still relevant, but even 2.0, it's like, yeah, he's like this legend. So, that's pretty cool. It's a good vibe. As for Chauffon could not reconcile Louis Sois' deeds and the philosophy of his forebears and his peers, a philosophy which he believed so fervently, yet made a pariah of his father. Luciano agonized over the contradiction for much of his life. God's father. He may carry his father's blood, but his choices are his own to bear. Is that not always thus? I hope they're not gonna make me feel bad for Fulchano here, because I'm never gonna feel good for this man. Really don't want that to happen. Gazno Forchevaux is a cranky old goat, but I'm sure he butt heads often enough, yet even so he must have it constantly in his thoughts, every moment of every day, not an exaggeration in the slightest. You're born barely recognizable, he was with the kind of dumbfounded grin of not seeing the first look of the fancier. First took a fancy to your mother. Practically skipping when he told me the news. Cute. Never say never. Oh, I doubt it. Take my word for it. He loves you all to an embarrassing degree. Cute. Frustratingly single-minded. Once he's decided to give an action for him his best, he will stay. Of course, no matter who or what opposes him. Apparently no inhabit when you're on the other end of it, as I'm sure you will agree. I'll say. Thank you for insight. When next we meet our parents, I shall mention that we spoke. Too much trouble now. I need the form on my side. It's too much out to be getting back to work. I have to make sure that the specimens you brought me with the proper places, or the cranky old goat will have my hide. We can speak again later. Emmett and Xenos are different. Xenos didn't verbally abuse his children and then humiliate them in front of grand dignitaries and important people that they valued. Especially the children being my children. Honestly. Hail, you three. Oh, hey, Graha. What's up? Surely a Kokol has driven you out of the forge already. But of course, no, he has harvested me task requires more than a single pair of hands, and here you are. There's at least one of you, but I won't object to more. Fortunately, as I have prior commitments, we have delayed as long as it is. But you, Eris, can you spare the time? Nuts. Perfect, that shouldn't take long. Also, do not literally disown them. Yeah. Like, that's my fucking point, is like, I don't care. I really don't care about him. And if they're gonna make a whole quest bit of like, they're gonna make a whole bit of like, oh no, he actually cares about his kids, then why didn't he act like it before? Like, I'm not just gonna like let that go. I want to repeat verb again? No. I'm not just gonna be like, oh, whoopsie poopsie. Like, nah. Especially like if he never apologizes, because he hasn't yet. Like, dude, what the fuck? Disowning a child that loves you is one of the most emotionally destructive things you can do to that child. Correct. It is an inherently cruel act that has no justification. It is such a cruel act. Especially doing it in public, around people, like around important people. Like that is horrendous. Like think about it. The Scions are like, there's a toad. The Scions are important political and sort of political and independent actors, right? They're an important group of folks that operate within Eorzea and wield a lot of political clout and respect. And could you imagine if you were like, Matoya keeping her eye on the operation, I see, right? Science or toad, totally agree, yeah. But could you imagine if you're like literally a part of the group that regularly saves the world over and over, and the world leaders are having a meeting to discuss important world-saving matters, your dad comes in, publicly ridicules you, and then publicly disowns you? Like, how the fuck is that gonna make you feel? I mean, certainly embarrassed, but shameful and like angry and like all these kinds of things. Like, cause come on, like that, and that is highly inappropriate too, at like a meeting of world leaders discussing the end of the world and how to prevent it, and you come into like the heroes of the world and you just like ridicule them, your own children. Like I don't think people realize, I mean, disowning your children is bad, but doing it in that scenario is fucking abysmal. It is so cruel, it is so mean. Like, and you feel like nothing you've done is good enough or matters at all. Yeah, sure. And like, the world leaders are of course gonna be like, wow, that guy was a dick, but they're gonna still feel like awkward because they're like, all right, moving on, I guess. Let's talk about some other matters. Like, they're gonna be uncomfortable. Everyone's gonna be uncomfortable. And then like, yeah, I mean, you're publicly humiliating your kids that you apparently love. Fuck you. Fuck you. You don't get to do that. Like, literally, I think that is the crueler act versus damn near anything Xenos has done. That might sound wild because Xenos has killed a lot of people, but like, holy shit, it is such a malevolent act to do what Fortuno did. Even if he didn't intend it to be that malevolent, it is so bad. It is so twisted. Right? And I feel like anyone who's had difficulty with their parents before, or had difficulty with their parents accepting certain things about them before, I think it maybe hits a bit closer to home, right? I feel when you're at your friend's house and their mom is yelling at them. Yeah, similar. Yeah. Like as a parent, you never do that. You never ever do that. Like you never fucking do that. If you're gonna yell at your kid, do it in fucking private, you monster. Seriously. Don't ridicule them or humiliate them in front of, like, friends or other people they respect or like. Or colleagues or something like that. Like, seriously. And, again, I feel like it's trending in that direction that the game's gonna be like, well, actually, Fortuno loves them. And it's gonna just make me so fucking mad. Fortuno thought he was doing these things out of love, yet you're right, it had anything but that effect. Yeah, if you're cruel to someone, it doesn't matter. If you punch someone in the mouth and go, it's because I love you. That doesn't do anything. Like, ooh, okay. You know what I mean? Like, it just makes me so mad. There's always ways to do things without literally disowning your kids. Of course. You could literally say, like, Fortuno could literally just be like, look, I don't support your actions, but like, do as you will. Like, I don't support this path that you've taken, but do as you will. Like, I might be your dad, but I don't get to control your life. It's another part of it. You don't get to control your child's life at all. Fun fact, and this is a thing a lot of parents don't understand. When your child gets older and they get more independent, you will see the fruits of your labor. You will reap the consequences of what you've done. Because if the child becomes independent and they don't spend time with you, hardly at all, well, guess whose fault that is? Because you never gave them a reason to want to spend time with you. If all you did was ever try to do was control your children or mold them into what you wanted them to be or disregard what they wanted, then guess what? They're not gonna spend time with you. Because they don't have to. There's nothing in the universe that makes it so a child has to spend time with their parents. You only get to spend time with your kids if they want to spend time with you. The fruits of your labor, if they actually want to spend time with you. You'll know if you're a good parent. You will know if you were a good parent or not when your child gets older and gets more independent. That's the test of it. If your child wants to spend time with you, congrats. Congratulations, you did something right. They actually enjoy your presence, probably because you're not trying to manipulate them or decide what they do with their entire life constantly. Some parents think tradition and culture is everything and can't see another way around it. You'll be alone and you'll deserve every second of it. Yeah, echo Alizé's line. But like literally, yeah. You'll be alone and you will deserve every second of it. If all you do is like try to manipulate, be cruel, and decide for your child what they do, and you disregard them as a person. You treat them more like a computer that you can program. Then yeah, guess what? They're not gonna fucking like you. And that's okay, because you were a fucking dick. It's not a big revelation. If all you do is if all you create is cruelty, you will be alone. Well, it could also mean you manipulated them too well. True, that could be it too. But I'd argue part of independence as well, not that, right? I would make that argument. But, you know, that's fairness. I got you. I make sure my children grow up to be popular Valorant streamers. Oh god, pick a better game, please. But yeah, and like, you're right, some parents do think tradition and culture is everything, and I know, and this is something of, I think, what might be a cultural bit sweet, like, wiggling its way into the game. This is a Japanese game.
Part for we alone.
Zuumi5.
Hi Zaram, thank you for the 100 biddies, I super duper appreciate it, you're poggers. How are you, buddy? But yeah, no, like, what I'm trying to get at is, like, I know in Japan, things like family and tradition are very important, are looked at usually a bit more important than they are in America. And that's a cultural thing, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. But I could very much see some of that influencing how this goes, where the kids should just forgive the parent, right? That is, in my opinion, not at all how it should go. Because you should not have to do that. Right? And remember, folks, if you want to forgive someone, that's fine. And if you want to forgive someone just so that you can move on, that's okay. But if you don't want to forgive someone, you don't have to. You don't. Doesn't matter who they are. You don't have to do that. You can just move on. Or again, you can forgive people and move on. And use that for yourself. That's not selfish. That's appropriate even. Sometimes, like, holding grudges isn't healthy for you, and that's okay, right? Sometimes you're not even holding a grudge, you're just not letting somebody hurt you again. And that's also okay, too. But it doesn't matter who they are. It doesn't matter if they were your parents and provided for you. You didn't get a choice in that, right? You don't choose who your parents are. So, like, it doesn't matter. You don't owe them anything. It's true, you don't. And if you, as a parent, feel entitled to something, well, that's a problem. Because you're not entitled to jack shit. Having kids and raising kids is not a transaction. It's not transactional. It's arguably charitable, is what I would describe it as. It's a thing you do without any thought or desire for some kind of recompense. That's not how you should raise, like, that's how you should raise children. You're not expecting to get anything out of it. Or at least any transactional thing. I provide for you, so you do thing for me, right? So yeah, that's my little ranted at it. This conversation is something basically every LGBT kid needs to hear. Preach to me. Look, I have tangled with a lot of things, right? It's true, but it does hurt when a child lashes out at you for showing love and affection. If your child lashes out at you for showing love and affection, perhaps consider what your love and affection was. And also, to be fair, if it truly was completely innocent and you didn't do anything, then, like, yeah, I mean, rough, right? But, like, that's a part of children sometimes. When you sign up to have children, you're going to have moments where children may act irrationally, because we've all been 14 before and had a million hormones bouncing around in our bodies and made irrational decisions sometimes. It fucking happens. Or it should be uploaded as a separate video? Maybe. If you guys want to clip it, you're welcome to. Like, that's something you sign up for. It's just like when you sign up to have a child, you may have a child who is on the spectrum. You may have a child who is gay or trans or has very serious mental health issues or is perhaps has some kind of physical limitation due to some kind of birth defect or something, right? You sign up for all of that. You do when you have a child. Because kids aren't going to be perfect, and you cannot hold them to a perfect measure, right? They're not going to be this perfect little you, and they're not going to be you. It's a bit long for one clip, that's for sure. Yeah, it is a bit long. Kids are complex, yes, they absolutely are. They're very complicated, and you have to roll with that, right? And yeah, they might say things that are occasionally hurtful. But if they're saying that, consider why. Like, consider why, though. Why they're doing that. If you're nice towards your kid, they can start pushing back because they're testing their assertiveness in a safe setting that you provided. That is also a thing they can do, yeah. And also, I think, unequivocally, as they grow older, and again, are not constantly dealing with their brain literally developing, I think you'll find they become more reasonable with time as well. Right? You know, the angsty child thing is definitely a thing, but that doesn't mean children are bad. And that doesn't mean you have any right to treat them cruelly. Again, their brain is literally developing. Like, that is a thing that is happening. It's like if if you have a baby and the baby pukes on you, that's not out of malice. Just babies do that because they can't really control their bodies sometimes. Same thing with kids, like. And it's kind of funny too, because I think in a legitimate sense, usually kids are pretty damn reasonable. Over time at least, right? Maybe in the moment not so much, but over time. And, you know, and if they do become an adult and, like, I don't know, do some abominable thing, do some kind of abominable thing, I mean, then you can maybe consider being less gentle in that regard, right? Right? Like if they, I don't know, explode. If they like murder a bunch of people, then you could maybe consider like disowning them or something. I don't know. Like, thank goodness my kid's not like me. The world doesn't need a second me. That's true. I'm already perfect, and nobody will ever be able to attain that kind of level. So, like, you know, having a kid like that just wouldn't work. Also, hi Maya. How's it going? Truth. Besides that, who cares? Yep, no, that was a, that's not a bad vibe, honestly. Try the summer in the LGBT sphere. I hate to have such a boring parent. I hate to be such a boring parent to only have straight kids. Oh, goodness gracious. I will say, Dratus, you do sign up for that, remember that. I don't know. Another me might sunder the world. Yeah, don't sunder the world. You know, don't want to do that. Don't go around sundering worlds, kids. It's a bad idea. It's a bad idea. Which way I suppose you find your Vino, Lassad? We'll reveal more tidbits. We should probably be getting back to our tasks. Unsforged. Benevar, and I quote, promised heap of adamantite falls right in front of the blazed sky into my lap. Master Cole wishes to be ready for the proverbial hammer to the anvil at a moment's notice. Every of the parts, however, needs flames Cole's forge to burn hotter and semi decrease the amount of aether being funneled into the furnaces. I mean, I'm a black mage. By aspect to aether in Labyrinthos is to be regularly kept by an elemental reactor source up here, which is why I've borrowed the key. This will require 2 people to carry it out safely, but I can plan the procedure when we arrive. This is where we part then. The Shoreline Hamlet once the adamantite arrives, if not before. This sounds like a plan. This way then. I should open some of that gear, that'd be a good idea. Yeah. Anyway. So, kids. We almost made it around the circle. Pog. I can't believe it. We've finally done it. There it is. Oh! This is the furnace. That's what all those weird furnace things are. They're different elements. It's not just piss. Damn. We end walking this circle. As within this facility, I'll be the one to go inside and just the fire output. Whether large amounts of water aspect aether will issue from the vent at the top, so to attract at least a few elementals, which would both be drawn to the reactor myself, trust me. Well, hello there, Sal. How are you? This one doesn't seem to be spewing. We gotta make it spew. Gotta make it spew harder. Cause you a little trouble, I'm sure.
Well, 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 look at the time.
Wow, it's been 20 months. That's a lot of months, Sal. Do that 10 plus 10 equals 20% movement to scrap for this kind of poggers. How are you, buddy? Thank you so much. It's piss all the way down. You think I'll ever be free of this extremely repetitive music? Hey, there's the water. Will if you do enough MSQ. Awful. Calamity. What do you mean, Sari? What music? Anyone else? There we go. Did everything go smoothly out there? There was a couple of elementals. Splish splash taking a bath. Not as much, no major complications to speak of inside either. Mr. Little Meow Meow. The water ether appears to be venting properly. Coca-Cola will have seen a difference in its forge flames by the time I return. I have you. There's another matter I wish to discuss with you. Your pegging session? Nothing terribly important. Oh. It's merely something I've been considering. Part of this I share with everyone. Yet you and only you have been to Elpis. What about Piss? Oh, sad music. We've established fine adamantite is the property of Alag. Empire's twilight years, in fact. It was a material which saw much use in the Elegians' efforts to extend beyond the bounds of the world, Element, of course, being the most prominent. Those who would push further, expand Allegan's empire and encompass the heavens and the stars above, perhaps the greatest was its infamous technologist, Amon. I'm like, wait, the clown! Amon wanted to travel the Sea of Stars? Did he remember his life as Hermes? Interesting that Amon wanted to go out into space, huh? Pegs from beyond the rift, heed my call! Bisexual women from beyond the rift. Well, he has his own reasons. Was there evidence to suggest that he retained memories of his former life? An echo of the man he once was? Only during the Ascians when the Empire was all but dust, as you know. Not his memory, though. What drove him to pursue the idea of such fervor? It seemed far-fetched, but what if souls like mine have a personality, so to speak? Natural disposition towards which they are inclined. Oh, I like that a lot. Because boy howdy, I sure act like Asm, because I am. You know that relative certainty that it was a gross decadence, that inexorable decline of Alag that moved Amon to resurrect Emperor Zande. Empire's people spoke lightly of death and destruction, experiments on those they deemed beneath them to fill the emptiness in their hearts. Facilitating Zande's return, Amon provided these languid souls the means to free themselves from the mire of their own indolence. Or would have, had Zande not been convinced by his own death that life itself was meaningless. Amon's desire for his countrymen to conquer the heavens could only be the means to an end, to instill a people with a new purpose. Hermes before him, Amon was appalled by those around him lived. He could not bring himself to believe those lives were devoid of any meaning. Both of them sought that meaning and hope in the distant stars. Such is my theory, anyway. Oh, fuck. I skipped that. Reach those stars and wings of adamantite to travel the ends of creation and beyond. To hope for everlasting that as much I do understand. Enough musing for now. Why don't we see how Coca-Cola is getting on? What line did I miss? Ultimately, it's the consequences of their actions which matter. Their motives are of no moment. And yet, to reach for those stars and wings of adamantite, to travel the endless creation of powers, to promise hope everlasting, that much I do understand. Valid me, cat boy. Also, on another note, there's just something I thought of. We agree that the Labyrinthos is like the worst zone, right? And Endwalker, right? We like agree on that, right? Easily. Okay, good, good. Just making sure we're on the same page. Because it like definitely is the worst. Like, the second section is very rough. It's so inconsistent. Thavnir is the best. Hi, Murder Maid. Love that name. Thavnir are good. Like, Other zones of the Endwalker blowed out of the water, really? Like, okay, the best one is clearly Elpis. Like, we know that one, right? Amazing. Thavnir's fucking amazing. Super colorful, wonderful, beautiful. Garlemald is horrifically eerie and depressing and sad. So yeah, it's a good zone, right? It's cool, it's interesting. Good contrast between places like Thavnir and Elpis. You have Maria Lenatorium on the moon, you're like this weird, melancholy, kind of like astral world that's caught in between and stuff. And that's really cool too, right? It's a good vibe, it's a good vibe. Then there's this one. Don't know what it is, but I'm positive that is Metian's Nest. Right? And then Labyrinthos is incredibly plain. It's like, it's a cool concept. But like, it's just the same thing. It's very samey. It doesn't look any different at any point, really, except for maybe the top and the bottom part, but like, even still there. Like, you could have made it made up of like a bunch of different biomes and had the biomes like sectioned off differently. But like, it's basically just a circle of the same damn thing. Really not great. Yeah, see, that would make sense to me, right? Yeah. Each like little section is like a different biome. That would be cool. From the upper island of Charlotte and the second half being the actual interior underground bit. Yeah, that would have been cool. As a Mara, yeah. Lobby feels like a pale imitation of Elpis, which is kind of appropriate, to be fair. A little, but it's just not a good zone. It's just boring. I don't disagree with you. It's just I'm just bored. It's just the same damn thing. Like little sections with big walls. It feels large for the sake of being large. Absolutely it does. Okay, see, that doesn't matter though, Morton. Like, sorry, I'm not trying to diminish what you're saying, Morton, but the scenes that occur within the zone do not matter in how the zone is designed, which is kind of what we're talking about. Like, I want to clarify that. Scenes that occur within a zone mean literally nothing in terms of like how it looks and feels to go through, if that makes sense. So you can't grade a zone based off of its scenes. It's like the aesthetics, its themes, how it designs, how you move through it, how it looks. It's very, very visual and stuff. Which is what I'm getting at. Is like Labby visually is just unimpressive. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like every expansion has one. Oh yeah, well then this zone sucks. Yup. Yep. Has nothing to do with whether or like what scenes occur in it. Like, I feel like every X pack has kind of a boring visual zone. Kalusia's a little boring visually, though. I don't know. I think it's better still. Arctica's kind of cool, especially the second half of Arctica is really cool. Everything else is great. The Peaks is definitely boring. The first half of the Peaks I think is pretty cool, but the second half is not great. Ruby C is very pretty. Right? Very, very pretty. God. I mean, there's so many more stuff we gotta do. I think the Fringes is cool. I think it is. I think it's a nice place. There's interesting stuff in it too. Yangsha, same thing. Azumstep, same thing. Locks is probably hand wavy a little bit. Oz's Lost sucks. Terrible place. Coerthus is kind of cool. It's a little boring, but like there's a lot to it, I guess. Four Lands, I really like the Four Lands. Hinterlands are the best. Eternity Mist is pretty cool too. Very good aesthetic. Sea of Clouds also has kind of like a cool aesthetic to it. You know, so there's always at least one in each X pack that's kind of eh. Is to ignore it, move to the next bit. Yeah, I agree, Wiz, for sure. First half of the Tempest is eh. Don't agree with that at all. It's a freaking underwater ocean floor. That's dope. Lox is great with the weather that spawns Ixion. Now that is cool, I will agree. But yeah, like every X pack has zones that are they're okay. It'd be like that. The Vector base will be finished. There's a little else to do. We're just getting out and prattling on. And we're just farting around. Yeah, for sure. I feel his flames ablazing from here. If I'm capable, Graha, there's only so much left for you lot to do. You can conjure up the refined animite, and let's conjure up the refined animantite any faster. I am well, Vinci. How are you? Going steadily insane due to the music here. I really do hate it. I like Mordona. I think it's very cool looking. You never want to hear the squishy footsteps? Good. There will dispose of just kicking out for prattling on and on. Okay. Oh, thank fucking God. Alright, we're done here. I do trust you to deliver on your promise. I do. Only... I hate waiting. I want that animantite and I want it now. Wait, we share your impatience, I assure you, but there's truly nothing else we can assist with in the meantime. Send about is unbearable, pity the form. Frowns at recreational explosions. Although we prove that we aren't premeditated. Get you gone, I've got mistakes to make. I suppose you should go to return to the key of the reactor. I'll have it make one more sure that nothing has gone wrong, intentionally or otherwise. We are walking to the end of this music. So when there is better use of your time over, we'll join you in the Charlene Hamlet and Narn. Bumbers. Really, what I do is blah blah blah. Yeah. Mario's helped by being a big divide of swampland and crystallized wasteland. Yeah, I think the crystallized wasteland is really cool. You don't get to see that often. Oh, hey, look, it's the piss fountain. Glory be to the piss fountain. There it goes. Leave me alone. Revel in the piss fountain. Also, I'm pretty sure too, the different fountains have different aether about them, so that's why we've got the different elementals in here, right? So this is like the fire one. There's fire enemies. That was the piss one, that's why there's piss enemies. Hi, Zero.
Evening Zoomy.
Zero, thank you so much for the 5 months to do that. 2 plus 3 equals 5 for just 7 months you've been subscribed for this kind of pluggers. I appreciate it. How are you? Well, they're meant to be like the ethereal composition of these zones. How fucking cool would it be if the fire zone, like this fire channel, was like all made out of fire? It was all lava-y and like, oh, it was cool. And the rock zone was all like sandy and full of rocks, and like the water zone was all like watery and you had to like walk through water, blah, blah, blah. It was just like this rainbow of the different like biomes. That'd be cool as shit. But instead, you just have the Mountain Dew Code Red fountain and some fire enemies. That's it. That's all you have.
Surmise Pog 28. That's 20 plus 8.
Hell yeah. Maddie, you're right. Did you know that's also 14 plus 14 is also 28? That's kind of poggers. How are you? Thank you for the sub and happy early birthday too. Look at you go. Lahi. Let me a good old Lahi. Impractical for a gigantic biosphere project, in my opinion, given our ability versus Elpis's Ancients. I mean, it doesn't have to be giant, just like these little hallways. And still, I mean, yeah, I guess you're kind of right, but it'd be more interesting. Be more interesting, baby. It'd be cool. Oh, you remembered? Yeah, of course. Of course I do. Yeah, Gemini season, baby. You betcha. We've even got a little of that inventory as relic. That is true. We did. We did. The idea pretty good with the different aspect zones. Yep. Nope, that's true. Yeah. I mean, and again, it doesn't have to be on such a grand scale. It's just like these little, like, hallways of it. Which would kind of make sense, wouldn't it? I was instinctively Charlene thinking to take an interesting premise and make it boring, points at Archon Loaf. Yeah. The shark fists? Oh, I'm so excited. I want those so bad, dude. Including the rainbow lava. I want those so bad. Yes, there's rainbow lava. Mom makes me pick up monk. It literally will make me pick up monk. I will play monk if I can get those on my hands. That's not a joke.
All set, I take it?
Oh, hey, Ashtola! You've been absent this whole X-Pack. Hi, what's up? Hey, welcome
Finished
back.
what we could. Delivered supplies, tracked down escaped animals. Trivial tasks as they may be.
Hi, Stinky, how are you?
That's enough, don't you think? If there was anything more important still undone, that would be a problem in itself.
Oh, that's awesome, Maddie. Happy for you.
The vessel is essentially ready for departure. All that remains is to load the final batch of supplies and see everyone on board. Once we've readied the ether burner, that is.
Ah, had a feeling we might find you all here.
Our consultations with the Loperates, too, have run their course. Pleased I am to say that our researchers' concerns have for the most part been allayed, though some insist on making adjustments.
The seas part for we alone!
Maya, thank you so much for the 480 bits. Very specific amount. Was I saying your name right? Maya? Maya? And thanks for the Hype Train Chew. Two. I said Hype Train Chew. Hype Train 2, Chew. There we go. Sorry, I was just getting into character too soon. I appreciate it though. Very poggers of you. I will use this to buy MCR tickets one day. Yeah, Maddie. No, that sounds great. I need to go to Pride this year. I need some friends together for that.
For their part, Livingway and her peers have graciously offered to stay and keep the people company, lest any lingering queries go unanswered.
The seas
All that
part for
remains
we
is to wait for
alone!
the refined adamantite.
Thank you, Nova, for the 100 biddies. I super duper appreciate it. You're poggers. And Maya is, as you pronounce this right. Okay, nice. Good, good, good. I see he's probably in September, so you should come over. All right, Maddie, I'll just buy a plane ticket and just... Pew! I'm down. Sounds poggers, though I have to visit Ashley too, otherwise she will attack me in the streets. Which is fair. Yeah, you're poggers. That'd take more convincing, yeah. I mean, do you have money for it? Because, like, that would help, actually.
Sumai stab lolly ho.
You have to spare, like, $200. Ashley everywhere, true. They're saying she's Majima. I wish she was my Majima, honestly. She kind of hot. But don't tell her I said that. Also, Biotic, thank you so much for the 9 months. That's a whole Twitch, baby. What's our child's name? Did you know that 3 + 3 + 3 = 9? We just have moments to subscribe for this kind of poggers. And Zero, thank you for the 60. I appreciate it. Also poggers of you. And look, we're like a level 2 hype train. That's one more level than level 1, which is kind of hype. Dab. Dab, dab, dab. Costs more than that, Lamau. But for you, sure. Aw, thanks. Just clipping that now to share. I'm sorry, what were you saying, Sammy? Nomad? Rat shakes you? I will grab you by your throat and shake you like a little gumball machine until your gumballs fall out. What are your gumballs? I don't even know, but we're gonna find out. Water just fell out of my mouth. Oh, I want some gumballs. No. Oh no, my balls. Yeah, I should have seen that one coming, I guess.
The seas part, for we alone.
Here, have the rest of them. They're just collecting dust.
I appreciate you imparting upon your lovely bits to me. Very, very kind of you. I'll be sure to dust them off before I eat them. Crunchy, crunchy. Do you think they taste? Do you think they're like hard candy? Do you think like bits are like hard candy? They taste like purpley or something. You're like, something like that. I think I got some grape Jolly Ranchers I could grab. That's probably what they are. Right? Yeah, they're like rock candy. Does that mean blue ones are blue raspberry? Okay, blue raspberry bits though. That sounds tasty. Just saying. That's like the good shit. And then are the teal ones like green apple? Are they like green apple? Red ones are cherry. Right. What convocation seed do y'all taste like? I know 'tis but a jest, but like OMG plane tickets are so damn expensive. What the fuck? Yup. They better not be rock candy, like rock candy mint. Oh. Do you still have that 5-pound bag of Jolly Ranchers? I sure do. I haven't gotten through it yet. It's a lot of Jolly Ranchers. I severely underestimated how much was 5 pounds of Jolly Ranchers. That was a mistake. Probably like the candy you find at Grandma's house. I want Grandma candy. Give me Jolly Rancher bits, please. 3K. What the? How long did Jolly Rancher stay good? Like a couple of years. I ate that one off the floor the one time. You guys remember that, right? That was awful. Shouldn't do that again. But I did it though. I don't know how long I was under there. Probably a few years. That's a good idea, Maddie. But yeah, point being, I want biddies to be Jolly Ranchers, basically. I rest my case. I wasn't there for that, but you are a goblin, so I am no surprised. Now listen here, Pat. I mean, you're right, though. I need to get enough money to where I can get a VTube rig and just have it be a goblin, because then it really will just make sense at that point. Everyone will be like, yeah, goblin. Yeah. Remains is to wait until the refined adamantite.
Alphino, are you there? It's me, Kryl.
Kyle, you're perfect.
Your special delivery has arrived. Round up everyone and come to the harbor at once.
Pug.
Speak of the devil. Let us go at once.
You don't need to see it, Nomad.
Forgive the intrusion, Master Fortuner. I bring urgent news.
Oh, exactly,
A
Bones.
great commotion has broken out in Scholar's Harbor. Your presence is requested, with all speed.
Squint.
Now, where might this delivery be? Oh.
Pog! God. I love this track, though. It's so good. Oh, hey! I recognize that
I'm
ship!
sure it's very important, but we cannot accept these without the proper
The
permits.
theater ship is here!
By the 12! Surely, these can't all be.
What the hell? Oh, hey, I recognize those guys! This is great, oh my god.
Bleeding hellfire.
There's raid
They're
people
bringing them
here.
by sea and by air. All these folks in these crates.
Hey, Sammy, how much side content have you done? A lot. A lot of side content. Like, it's like all the raid people.
And more on the way. Got your adamantite right here. A bigger haul than any of these sorry bastards brought, and that's no lie.
Fucking Sicard with your boyfriend, my little brother.
Yes, because you were charged with seeing the shipments from Gridania and Uldar here, along with your own. Give credit where credit is due.
Just kiss already?
Sounds like the sorry whinging of a sore loser. An hypocrite.
Kiss,
to boot.
kiss.
Ain't no way a scrawny whelp like you took a dozen steps inside a Dalamud shard.
I'll have you know I went all the way to the entrance. Furthermore, 'twas my contacts that enabled us to enlist the cooperation of the Sky Pirates.
Sky Pirates. I can't imagine. I love that Eris's little brother is just right here flirting with a man in front of everyone. Mm-hmm.
Left you outside so you wouldn't get anyone killed, did they? Well then, credit where credit's due, you did a right fine job sitting on your ass.
Take that back.
Make me.
I will not stoop to your level.
My, what a grand welcome party.
Hi, Hancock. Hi, Saraban!
Hancock and Saraban.
Love those boys. Well,
We come
Saraban.
bearing relics both sacred and Allegan, as well as a few other gifts that may be of help, to be presented with best wishes from the Eastern Alliance.
Word.
I myself have come with a sacred relic of Rayson Temple. 'Twas passing fortunate that Senri's dango craving brought us to Kugane. We arrived precisely as Hancock was making his arrangements.
That's great. Make me. Ayo, exactly. That sword. The sword. I'm pretty sure I know whose sword that is.
Upon learning of your need, we made haste back to Hell's Lid, with our dango, never fear, and consulted with the other auspices. All consented to the lending of Tenzin's legendary Phoenix Blade for this noble cause.
Yep, it's Tenzin's sword. Fucking knew it. That's great. That's cool.
Suzaku and Seiryu were nevertheless worried that it might be lost in transit, however, and insisted upon accompanying me to Onokoro, where I had intended to entrust it to our Confederate allies. I thought instead to give it over to Hancock when we chanced to cross paths yet again. But alas, Seiryu remained ill at ease, and ordered me see the blade into your hands personally, or die trying.
God, that's Snake Boy.
We did, of course, need quite the impressive vessel to get it all here in time.
This is so good. I love that it just all the side content that you've done just compiles and plops itself down here.
Fortunately, our Majestic associates have been more than helpful. 'Tis an honor to join the Warrior of Light on another adventure, they tell me.
That is all wonderful to hear, but what of the extraordinary cost? I shudder to think of the ransom we must pay for such a bounty.
You'd be thinking of that, huh, Alphino?
Fret not for your coin purse, young Alphino. Lord Lolorito looks ever towards the profits of the future, and thus the East Aldenar Trading Company went to some lengths to reduce the financial liability.
Even Lolorito, wow.
And since the Scions funded the entire venture, not a gill need be rendered up in compensation. Everything is already yours.
All your friends you made along the journey,
We
yeah.
funded the venture. When?
Oh
Don't let
no!
the name fool you. This coin keeper knows a thing or two about spending.
God, I love Tataru.
When it comes to capital investiture, a sprinkling of gil here and there will not do. You need enough savings to make waves when it really counts, which is why frugality is paramount.
Did you do Diamond Weapon? Yes, I did. Yep, I did Diamond Weapon.
We also had the benefit of a generous patron. Generous being rather an understatement. She has supported us from the shadows since the very founding of the Scions. We even had coffers to fill.
Mom!
Mother!
Lamau? Get fucked! Dude, eat a dick!
I remain, of course, an entirely neutral party. I simply thought our family's coffers were needlessly full.
She's great. Oh my god, what a lady.
We can hardly take them with us on your teeny tiny toy boat, now can we? And would be a shame to leave all that hard-earned wealth unspent. Waste not.
Oh my god. That's great. You just sugar mommy this whole time? Sure did.
However did you manage so much in so short a time, though? We expected word to reach only a fraction of our allies.
Did I not tell you I have my ways?
Kyle! Hey, Erwin!
Erenville, you were involved.
This is great!
I received a letter from Cryle after we parted ways in Labyrinthos.
Benui?
She explained what the Scions were trying to accomplish, and why you might soon require the services of the Gleaners, spread across the world as we are. I pray you do not interpret this as a betrayal of Charlian. I accept that the Forum's aim in pushing us to our limits was to preserve what knowledge we have, and I bear you no ill will for it. Yet, in collecting that knowledge, what I came to appreciate most about our star is that there remains so much we do not know.
Aww,
That is why I chose to help the Scions, to combat the obliteration of those countless, undiscovered wonders. I held no illusions that they would be less demanding taskmasters. Though, rest assured, if I had, I would have been sorely disappointed.
Lamau. Ernabelle is very pretty. The prettiest man alive. Take the stick out of your ass,
To make a long story
Potional.
short, the whole of the guild ship cooperated to ensure your call was heard far and wide.
Yay! Omega's there
What's
too!
this about a ship that can fly to the moon?
Omega and Alpha!
And why didn't you mention it sooner? The one time you don't beg my aid, your problem's a bloody ship that can fly to the moon.
Squad.
You brought the team. Of course. Garland Ironworks' finest. You need only point us towards my new favorite ship.
Omega's right there too! Ah!
Oh, I nearly forgot. We stopped by Whirlit before coming here and picked up a package from Gaius.
Ooh.
He's still of the mind that actions make for better penance than words, contrite or otherwise, so we offer none of the latter.
Of course, thanks, Gaius.
What he sent is an Allegan relic Valens used in his weapons experiments. Has a fair bit of refined adamantite in it, too.
Ooh. How very glib.
As you like us not suspect, we've also brought adamantite for Mordona's Dalamud shard.
Love her eye boulder.
I admit to some consternation upon first receiving Kral's message. So few scions remain at the Rising Stones now. Far too few for such an expedition. However, the Gleaners were able to secure us reinforcements. Idleshire's treasure hunters, not least among them.
I know Shire! Got me! Yes! Sorry.
I know. How the Gobbyflock fought.
Gobbies rise up! Gobby's gonna boom and rise like thunder. A to the L to the E, Xander. Alexander. Gobby fall. Gobby flock rise up! This is amazing. Best line. Gobby folk remember. Gobby folk pay back life debt. The only side content you'd be missing is Eureka. I don't even know what that is. It's great.
Slowfix's gratitude for the safe return of his daughter has not waned, and he gathered his kin to our side with an astounding quickness.
Gobbies!
The clash between their machina and the Allegan defences was a sight to behold. I wager even you would have been impressed by the magnitude of the gobby booms.
Gobby booms! Love it.
Fascinating as all this is, I fail to see how it explains your presence here. Does Razat-Han not have more pressing concerns?
I want to see an echo flashback of that battle now, too. I just want to see all these Gobbies, like, throwing just high-end explosives in Mordona. The ground shaking. People of Mordona are like, what the fuck is happening? It's great. Love it.
We do. Yet averting the final days would be the most expedient solution. That, and I am indebted to you.
Gobbies are even again, driving their war machina.
Though they chose to take their leave of Thavnair, those you saved in Galimund remain my people. My gratitude is beyond words. 'Tis appropriate that I aid you in kind. If in the doing we bring salvation to others of this star, so much the better. You will recall that I spoke of my father, Midgard Summer, and his journey across the great expanse.
Those that don't know who Vershan is, though, people are gonna be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Betwixt the stars, his resplendent scales drank of the ether in those nigh empty surrounds, and imparted to him the strength to persevere. Thinking they might further your cause, I called out to my kin for consent.
Do we have a bunch of dragon scales?
Ashdaya's answer was silence, as ever.
Ashdaya?
Tiamat and Chrisvelgre, however, responded favorably to the suggestion.
Ashdaya up to?
My sire, too, stirred from his slumber long enough to speak and say, "Very well."
Midi!
Thus have
I
I
know.
brought you his own worm scales. Fit them to your purpose, and seek a worthier fate for us all.
You'd be hard-pressed to find someone else so familiar with the unique properties of dragon scales. So I invited myself along.
Madonna.
Bugger me, this is so unbelievable. I've gone right back round to believing it again. Forget a 6% gain in efficiency. With all these goodies, we could get 7, no, 10, no, 14 bleeding percent.
Ah, this guy.
Think of how far we could go. What we could do with that much power. What we could blow up.
If Kokol is duly convinced, then it must be true. In which case, the Scion's end of the bargain has been fulfilled. Would you not agree?
Don't have a gamer moment. Don't have a gamer moment. Don't have a gamer moment.
Yes, Father?
Don't.
I know not what you seek of Hydaelyn, nor for what purpose you would take command of our ship. Yet this much is certain. To do so will be to dictate the fate of this star and the lives upon it. The lives of each and every creature, in their magnitude and their fragility. Do you understand? And are you prepared?
We have seen and we have felt how much each life shapes this world. And so we are determined to abandon none. We understand what is at stake, and we are prepared to bear this burden.
Then I will bear it with you. I beg you, share your struggles with me. As family.
Eris glaring.
You grasped my fingers with such tiny hands the day you were born. I thought my heart might burst. 'Twas love and happiness beyond expression. Overwhelming. And a conviction so powerful that I trembled with something close to rage. I had heard the final days foretold. I swore to myself then and there that I would not let them steal your futures. The great exodus would succeed, must succeed. No sacrifice or sin was worse than the alternative.
Don't like that line.
If anything gave me pause, 'twas mine own father. The Archon Louisoix openly decried Charlian's policies, a perspective which I regarded with increasing disdain as I grew older. Yet even as part of me thought him a fool. Perhaps I also hoped that he, of all people, would devise a brilliant means to save my children. A naive hope, but stubborn enough that I could never bring myself to keep you apart. No, that was his doing. When he perished at Cartano. As we pulled that twisted slab of Dalamud from the sea, I remembered the warmth of your newborn touch. Chastened, I vowed never again to suffer any interference in my mission to protect you. No matter that you yourselves wished otherwise. Detest me, fight me tooth and nail, I would suffer it, and more, and be satisfied so long as I could force you onto the ship. I was wrong. You two have grown so much stronger and so much wiser than I dared dream. You have earned the right to walk your own path, and already begun to do so.
Good. Because there are things we care about, and people we love, and none of them is replaceable. Not a one.
It cannot have been an easy journey for you to have come so far.
We shall be glad to acquaint you with the finer details someday, once this danger has passed. All that we have seen and heard, that we have felt and learned in our travels. Ours is not a kind world, but it is beautiful. Always.
Oh no. Are you quite sure that's wise? After all, someone turns pale and flees the room when he sees so much as an envelope containing word of your adventures.
Love her. Love her.
Whatever will happen if he learns what you were really up to.
Amelians. Though I have wronged my children most gravely, I owe you an apology as well. I assumed that it was the Scion's influence that made them so keen to charge headlong into danger. Yours, in particular.
What did I do?
I see now that said influence instead brought them together with the many fine people gathered here today. In which case, I hope you continue to guide them.
If we've finished loitering about the harbor, might I suggest we put our plans into motion? People are beginning to look confused.
Perhaps you can spare a few words ere they resume the tedious lugging of cargo. You have no small number of friends and admirers here, after all.
Look, I did nothing other than give them a safe place to grow by murdering anyone who would take advantage of them. For sure. Me, a bad influence? Cowboy, we're having a moment here. Do I get to say a speech? Will Eris speak? I know your strength when our moment of triumph is close at hand with me. Speech, Eris, speech! Imagine if this is the point our character was actually voiced. That'd be wild. Maker's rune in the background. So lend us your strength. They're like, yeah, agreed. We will.
Your assistance is appreciated. Now, in an orderly fashion, if you please.
Close your eyes close as you pick the answer as canon. Oh, it absolutely is. Absolutely. Also, since I'm sure people will want to hear it, I still don't like Fortuno. He apologized, finally. But I still don't like him. Still a dick, like... I mean, it's good that he apologized, yeah. That was very necessary. But he's still an asshole. I would still throw him in the ocean, yes. I would still sock him in the mouth. Just once. Gotta prove it now. He doesn't even, I mean, he does, but it's also like, that still doesn't give you any reason to be cruel to your children. Like, it still doesn't justify any of it. I don't like him. He doesn't get to just be like, whoopsie poopsie, I was wrong! Like, I think we should dunk on him more, yes? Please, for Donnie's contributions, we should travel there to aid the Animantite recovery. But it was quite the trial, and getting the Dalamud shard is reaching its depths. She'll have a few kind words to say about the Allegians when next we meet. Nice. I never gathered such a bounty or refined adamantite relics, sacred and ancient alike. I myself quite overcome. True, Sage, true. I feel like they excuse him, really. I think it's more up to at least let it be the relationship can be built back up again. Sure. Never see another crate again, it'll be too soon. Team with Lemon Prize, are you prepared? No. Do your friends in the Ironworks do with that ship? Same. Wait until you lifted off my shoulders, but more importantly, his words of affirmation of the path we walk is the right one. I've finally been satisfied as long as our family and friends survive the final days. We say the star, what we all want most, if we, those same people, believe that we can see it done. Who am I to say otherwise? Come, with what may, I will fight for this world of ours until the very end. Good shit. What hurts from directing so many people labyrinthos, but only proves we got our money's worth. Apologize for informing you earlier. Irwin's involved with something of a contingency plan. We had him and his fellows leading us to Hanan. We've been more monstrously difficult to locate Sid and transport the Hanish delegations here otherwise. Oh yeah, Mom's great. Love Mom. Right? For sure. Managed to clear the harbor, which means the rest of the engineer is in the engineer's capable hands. Meanwhile, Father has issued us an invitation that he will reveal by which means Heidelin may be contactable. We are to meet him at Aphoria when we're ready. We give him the vital knowledge she holds and suggest we leave without delay. As far as, however, the forum's method of speaking with her is not without risks. I'm curious to hear what those might entail, but regardless, be warned. Those of us who arrived at the Adamantite have offered to stay and see that you have any tasks that need doing. Orma's already asked for assistance in overseeing the process, so you needn't worry about a thing. Thank you, Tataru. We're off to Aphoria, then. Tataru, you lovely? Much information out of Highland as you can. Wring as much information out of Highland as you can, for I will know this is the one and only opportunity we'll get. This is gonna be sad. No, not the music again! I was right though that the big round place is where Hydaelyn was. Already show the others inside. I'll speak with Charlene. The key to the lift send you down after me. This is the zone music now. No! This place is pretty. What make you think so? Oh, you know, it's gigantic. Hello, hot lady. I would like to descend. Oh yeah, Blue, that happened like last week, hun. Yeah. I mean, I do post my schedule anytime I play this game. I gotta stay up to date. It's in my VODs though, if you want to see it. I cried like a baby. Rules Guided Secret in the Famazine. Near the end of our efforts, once we delivered to seek an audience for the star, and once we embark the journey of the heavens. This way, if you please. This is a giant building in the center. It's gonna be sad. I don't trust like this. I would cry, same Raven. I'd stop playing the game. Oh shit. Same, Eris. Got a cool ass spaceship. Straight to something out of Mass Effect, yeah? With the Hamazine, direct your touch towards the center, behold the arc, which we have long labored. The design for a medium-sized craft, the better to reduce the fuel consumption. Neutralizing the magics, apply to the interior to ensure that the thrust-to-rate ratio does not place too great a limitation on the freight capacity. If a burner, as you know, has been removed for further modification, but it will soon be reattached soon enough. See where the Kokol has and several of your allies are working on it with an intense fervor. See it done. 'Twas by their expertise may a prior disaster be averted. May I fear does not afford us much time speaking with Hydaelyn ere they finish. Point taken, let us move on. I must warn you again, though, however, that even with the benefit of our device, to treat with her is not a simple feat. I think I should wait. If I accept this quest, is it gonna launch into a scene? Or is that the next quest? Because I feel like this is gonna be a very big thing, and it's probably the dungeon. Can I accept the quest at least, or is that like a no-go? Which they're working. If they're burning, always glad to say something. Other get in their way. Once it's ready, we'll see the ship is put to good use. Yep. Nervacious labor to this end, that we aim higher still and spare the preparation of means speaking with Hydaelyn, no matter the cost. Only proves difficult for even the form, then perhaps I uninformed idea of this phase. I'm afraid I will duly inform you if anything comes of it. Yep, this is what Ernville meant when he said there remains so much we do not know. Still can't believe anything was hidden underneath the city the entire time. Let's combine mechanical and ethereal sciences into revolutionary discipline. She was nothing short of technological marvel and the precise, valiant, elegant salvage should suit it well. When chance was supposed to advance over in the ship's hull, Sven and Bluida were doubtless called upon for their expertise in teleportation magics. You do too, don't you? The ship is impressive, but it pales in comparison to the vast primordial power beneath our feet. Heidel's great plan, we can only hope that she knows the current location of Etienne. And we can do neither if we do not focus on whatever trial awaits us within. You're going to press upon you the gravity which lies ahead. Are you prepared? Yeah, okay. Yep, that's a level 89 quest. Yep, oh, no, here it is. Oh, I'm right. This is, no. Oh, this is gonna be sad. I don't want to kill Mom. Her children, one and all. I don't wanna. It'll be fine. No, it won't. No, don't lie to me. I'm gonna cry or something. Has this game ever hurt you? Frequently, often, every day. You love killing and dethroning God. Not my God, not my mom, though. Wait, am I a demigod then? Hey, wait, am I a god that? Shit. That's a problem. It's just a weeb game. It's just a weeb game, stupid weeb game. I don't wanna. Yeah. You know, it'd be like that sometimes. For a god, then. I mean, though, actually, wouldn't we be a god, though? Like, what is a god, really? Stupid weeb game sounds uncontrollably. It's not like the feared words have appeared yet. They're going to and accept that quest. This game makes Sammy cry sad tears. Also, this game makes Sammy cry tears of joy. Yeah, both. Not gonna lie. Oh man, I'm so tired. Go to bed. We're 9/14ths of a god. We're basically a demigod at least, right? Who's to say that we cannot ascend? We're not even 8 times, right, no, yeah, we're 9 pieces of the whole. I think that's what we are. Something like that. Thanks for the stream. Yeah, no problem. In case you haven't guessed, we're gonna save that for next time, because that's gonna be a whole thing. That's gonna take me like a couple of hours, a fucking bet. That's gonna take a whole while. Yeah, I don't have time to keep going. I gotta eat. I haven't eaten today yet, and I also have D&D and stuff. But importantly, it's gonna be a whole thing. I'm gonna want to talk about it, obviously, when I have to be forced to kill my mother. I don't wanna do that. But yeah, yay. But you cleaned it. Huh. But I will have to be back and be sad. So we're gonna go raid we're gonna go raid someone else, methinks. I think I haven't raided Comey in a while. Let's go do that. Yeah, we're gonna go raid Comey. Stay tuned for next week where I will be playing more Dragon Age Inquisition, Final Fantasy VII, and Final Fantasy XIV. So if you want to see this, come by next week. Literally stop in next week. I will post my schedule on Twitter and Discord both. My socials are right there, so you'll be able to see when I am playing those Wait, did I spell that wrong? Oh, there we go. There we go. It went. Okay. So you'll be able to see that stuff when I go live. Yeah, so if you want to see like the conclusion of this, it'll probably be an evening sometime. I don't think it'll be an afternoon again. I think maybe Tuesday I have time. Maybe Tuesday or Thursday. Something like that. So I will see you guys hopefully next week. Keep your eyes peeled for my schedule. And yeah, you guys have a lovely little weekend and enjoy yourselves very muchly, please. Thank you for hanging out today. Thank you for being here as I rant about family and parents and also Labyrinthos' zone design, because stinky. Yeah. Toodles everyone. Say hi to Comey for me. Goodbye, Illy.